Hello, my fellow historians. It's your main man, the Retro Historian here, and I am back with yet another video. Today, we're going to be playing some Campaign Trail today. If you don't know what Campaign Trail is basically a browser game where you basically pretend to be a presidential candidate throughout history, and you try to change election results. Actually, today we're going to be doing a mod that somebody in this community actually created. It's called the 1868 Hamlin mod, so there we go, the Hamlin Trail. This mod was made by Rise Animations 8708. So go check out his channel and subscribe. This scenario is about Abraham Lincoln dies, and instead of being replaced with Andrew Johnson, who later became one of the worst presidents in American history, he was replaced with his original vice president, Hannibal Hamlin, who was a radical Republican and was actually really solid on most issues. So without further ado, let's get into this. Everyone, including himself, thought he was going to be replaced by Tennessee Democratic Governor Andrew Johnson. This was planned to be so Lincoln could win votes from moderate Democrats and be reelected to win the war. However, to everyone's shock, Hamlin was renominated. Him and Lincoln would beat George McClellan in a landslide and would end the war. That happened on April 1965. For the next 4 days, Washington was full of cheering and celebrations. However, that would change on April 14th. Now that Abraham Lincoln was dead, people had to rely on Hamlin to fulfill the promises that Lincoln had left. Good luck, Mr. Hamlin. And we're just going to select Grant because he's the only option. And plus, Grant is just the GOAT. I mean, why would you select anybody else? Alright, so now let's go normal. Alright, so far the election actually looks pretty lopsided in our favor. We'll try to beat up Seymour even more than he's already beaten up. Let's just do this. So, oh dear lord. You try to go to sleep, but can't. You knew to yourself this was going to be a long night. 9 hours later, you're still awake and have not rested your eyes since last night's ghastly moment. Your wife appeared in the room. She says you have a telegram. However, when you check it, the worst outcome becomes reality. Your eyes are wide open while reading the words, President Lincoln was dead, and you are needed to be sworn in as the 17th president. We need to go now. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so this is the oath of office. As soon as you said those 4 words and stared at the Bible, your left hand was on for a solid 5 seconds. You thought, am I really doing this, or is this just a dream? Honestly, it'd be a dream scenario if Hannibal Hamlin took over. I mean, he was great on the issues. He was a solid radical Republican, which is actually kind of interesting because he used to be a Jacksonian Democrat, but then he switched. I mean, let's look. Yeah, he was a Democrat from the state of Maine before being elected to the United States House of Representatives and then the Senate. With his strong abolitionist views, he left the Democratic Party for the newly formed Republican Party. Yep, that sounds about right. It's been 24 hours since Mr. Lincoln departed for the heavenly world. In the wake of his absence, a reporter approaches you, eager to know whether you plan to carry on the legacy of Lincoln's policies into the future. No, we're not going to do this whole I'm my own man thing because Lincoln was just so popular, and so it would be dumb not to campaign on his legacy. Or definitely not to say that second answer, because that second answer is just political suicide, just even no matter what era you're in. So we're just going to say I'm going to continue his policies. This is expected. And look, I'm my own advisor because that's just how cool I am. I'm Hamlin. I'm so cool. I could be my own advisor. You just received word that John Wilkes Booth was found and murdered at Richard Garrett Farm in Port Royal, Virginia. Do you have anything to say about the event? Sad Mr. Booth had ruined his life, but he had his opportunities in life. Oh, I'd say he did. I mean, he was a really well-known actor. I mean, he arguably had just as much star power as Lincoln did. I mean, he had a really good life. I don't know why he had to stoop so low by basically killing the president for really just no reason. I mean, he tried to bring the Confederacy back, but Confederacy was never coming back. Let's just be real here. Supreme Court Justice John Catron has passed away. Do you have any ideas for a replacement for him? Well, in our timeline, Andrew Johnson actually saw massive Supreme Court reform, as the amount of justices on the Supreme Court was shortened from 11 to 9. And honestly, I don't really think that the Supreme Court should have more justices. I think 9's a good number. But it's crazy that back then we had 11. This whole argument is completely irrelevant for the real-life timeline, but we'll just choose the most Lincoln-aligned candidates. Edwin Stanton, of course, he served in Mr. Lincoln's cabinet, strongly supported reconstruction. Good idea. Montgomery Blair, he also served in Lincoln's cabinet. He was anti-slavery. Either Blair or Stanton. I think we'll go with Stanton because he supports reconstruction. That we need a united front for reconstruction. Stanton would have worked if he wasn't out of poor health. Oh, that's right. He was in bad health. I forgot about that. You just received news that John Wilkes Booth's team, consisting of Mary Surratt, George Azeroth, and Lewis Powell and David Harold, were executed today. Okay, justice is now served. The last couple of months, you and Congress were trying to come up with a compromise on what most of the Confederate states would rejoin the Union. We'll just wait till 1876, because they were starting to join back in by the time 1868 was happening, with only Virginia, Texas, and Alabama not being there. And by the time 1872 came around, they were all in. So, I don't know. I think 1876 would be a decent time to let him back in. Plus, one Reconstruction era election where Hayes wins legitimately. So that way I don't have to keep hearing the whole arguments of Hayes rigged the election. We'll just go to 1876 just to make sure Hayes gets a landslide. This is probably your best bet. You just learned that the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, had been passed. So what, do you have anything to add? This is a major accomplishment. Absolutely it was. After the state legislature signed the 14th Amendment, Tennessee has become the first state in the Confederacy to be readmitted to the Union. Do you have any comments? We are glad the state of Tennessee is back with us. But the reason why the 14th Amendment was passed is because during the Dred Scott ruling, African Americans were not considered citizens. So this amendment effectively overturned the Dred Scott ruling and made it so all slaves that were born in the U.S. were citizens, and rightfully so. March 1st, 1867. A few weeks ago, he signed a proclamation to make Nebraska the 37th state admitted to the Union. Well, today Nebraska has achieved this. Do you have anything to comment on? We're happy the state of Nebraska is with us and will vote in this upcoming election. Yep, let's do it. With the admission of Nebraska in the books, the Colorado Territory looks to be next. Yeah, in our timeline, it wasn't admitted to like the 1876 elections. Let's wait for the second term. This is the expected answer. The House and Senate agreed to vote on June of 1871, so the state can hopefully be admitted in 1872. Okay, another Supreme Court Justice, James Wayne Moore, has passed away. Do you have anybody in mind to replace him? Okay, so we'll just say this guy, because John A. Bingham, he's the framer of the 14th Amendment and a loyal Republican. So perfect. Bingham is a good selection. His nomination passed in the Senate, 58-8. Great. Your son Cyrus has passed away, New Orleans, Louisiana. This actually happened, by the way. This must be very hard on you. Do you have anything to say? My Cyrus fought in the Civil War, and for the Union made me proud. He died way too young, and I'll miss him every day. I'm so sorry. Why would he say that to himself? I mean, that's kind of weird. I'm so sorry for your loss, Mr. Hamlin. Why is he referring to himself in the third person? That's kind of funny. With the election 1868 approaching, if you consider running for another term, yeah, let's do it. All right? Mr. Hamlin, you've won the Republican nomination. What will be your main focus? Let's just do exactly what Grant did and make sure we just go super strong on African-American rights and keeping Lincoln's legacy alive. Right? So far, we're actually winning. We're dominating this election. We're making Seymour look like a joke. You've chosen Grant, your main opponent for the Republican nomination. Is there any particular reason why you chose him? Grant is a popular household name and a war hero. I believe Grant is the best choice. Darn right he is. Choosing Grant will benefit you in all regions. You also help swing some moderates to your campaign. Grant will also fill the gaps between splitting your party. This is a great mod so far. I think it's a pretty good mod. 10 out of 10. Buchanan may be a bad president, but he was a good man. Well, we'll just say that. This is a good response to such an event. Yeah, because you really don't want to start bashing a former president right when they die. That's just the worst thing you could do. Thanks to our Reconstruction efforts, Louisiana has been readmitted to the Union. It would have been the last Confederate state to be readmitted until 1876. Alright, pretty good so far. Before 1856, you're a member of the Democratic Party and a Jacksonian Democrat, like I said earlier. By now, everyone knows this, and opponents of yours are attacking you for this. Is there any reason why you left? Yes, although I was a member of the Democratic Party, but I left because they signed one of the worst laws in history. Perfect. This is good, to be honest. However, this does pull some radical Republicans away, but not too many. Yeah, because why would the radical Republicans vote for Seymour? I mean, that would just be dumb. I mean, seriously, Seymour literally supported Andrew Johnson's Reconstruction plans, so that's all you need to know. The Democratic nomination has concluded, and they now nominate Horatio Seymour, the former governor of New York. What are your thoughts? Okay, let's just say that. Let's wave the bloody shirt a little bit, which is something that Grant, Hayes, and Garfield all did. They all just raped the bloody shirt, which basically means that, say, don't like Democrats, will get us into another civil war. So we'll just do that here. Little slippery slope, huh? But to be fair, a majority of Americans are in fear of another civil war, so this attack works. Yeah, the bloody shirt, waving that was very effective, so we're just going to keep doing that. The Democratic nomination has chosen Representative Francis Blair as Seymour's running mate. Yeah, let's just congratulate him on the nomination, just move on. I don't feel like attacking him. It's not really hurting on numbers in Missouri. We're still winning it by, 17 points, so yeah, we're still fine there. Oh yeah, we're going radical restructuring. We're just going crazy with it. Radical Republicans love this. Our moderate Republicans and Democrats are upset. Yeah, I don't think it's really going to matter, though, what moderates think in this timeline, because you kind of have to be extreme when it comes to Reconstruction. Let's see what immigration's like. Doesn't really seem like immigration's much of an issue. We'll just say we're fine with it. You're correct, however, some people are not a fan of immigration, so you lost votes, but not too many. Okay, so yeah, nothing really changed. Okay, well, let's see if we can get Sam and Chase to endorse us. Oh no, it failed extremely. Chase endorses Seymour. Retro! Ah, screw you, Chase. Screw you. Are there any states you want to campaign in? Let's campaign in New York, because it's the biggest state, so I don't know. I don't think we'd lose anything by trying to campaign in it. Plus, wait, what? Seymour's winning in New York? Are you serious? Retro! Oh my gosh. Alright, yeah, we gotta campaign in New York then. Your poll numbers boost in New York. What? How am I losing ground? Are you serious? How did I lose ground by campaigning there? What on earth? Alright. Unexpected news came in that just a few southern states, North Carolina, are doing well with reconstruction. Should these states be readmitted this year or later? Yeah, we'll just say 1876. Because that's all we gotta stick to what we said. Okay, good, New York's back. Still, that was scary for a minute. I thought we were gonna lose it. Is there anyone in particular you want to help with your campaign? Nah, not Millward Fillmore. Millward Fillmore was a Whig turned know-nothing turned Democrat, so I don't think we really want to campaign with him. Maybe Seymour. I'll say Seymour because he was a really solid Secretary of State in our timeline, and he was the one to negotiate the purchase of Alaska, so he was really good. So we're going to campaign with him. Seymour hesitated to discuss assassination, but he talked about it anyway. The speech was well received, and Seymour endorses you. Okay, wow, okay, that kind of helped us. Okay, this is a new group going around called the Ku Klux Klan, a racial group that targets non-whites and non-Christian people. Yeah, the Ku Klux Klan was actually very powerful back then. In fact, Ulysses S. Grant basically obliterated them by the time his term ended. However, during the term of Woodrow Wilson, they would make a massive comeback in the 1910s under Wilson, due to Wilson showing the birth of a nation and giving legitimacy to the movement. And they weren't just anti-black by that point. They were anti-immigration, they were anti-Catholic, anti-Irish. They were just anti-anything that wasn't white Protestant. Basically, they were really bad news. So we're going to have to denounce them and send more troops to obliterate them. This is the expected response. You send the troops to the south and the Klan disappears. But it's unfortunately not the end of them. Sadly, it isn't. Is there anything in particular you want to discuss today? I want to discuss my time as Vice President of Lincoln and what we accomplished. Perfect. We'll just continue Lincoln's legacy. One of the weak points is the recession of 1865-1867. While not as severe as the recession of 1857, it was a recession America could have done without. You know, how would you respond? Yes, it was a recession. Listen, what we had to do. It's never an easy thing to do in a recession. We had to stay strong, not repeat the steps of the panic to 1837, 1857. Yeah, that's a good call, because you're also bashing the Democrats as well as justifying the economy. Because back then, Democrats weren't as good on the economy as they are now. Nowadays, Democrats like FDR, LBJ, JFK, they just flat out dominate on the economy. I mean, I don't agree with all their policies, but they do have really good economic results. Just look at the statistics. People love your honesty and bravery. You may or not know it, but you seem to also attack Democratic presidents, particularly Martin Van Buren and James Buchanan. Grant offered to campaign for you in a region. Okay, so we need to keep New York. If we lose New York, it's all over, so we're going to do Northeast. Grant's also popular in the Northeast, and he helps your poll numbers in Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. Alright, let's do New York again. Alright, let's hope they're right. Results are coming in. Let's win this thing! Alright, okay, we're off to a pretty bad start. Seymour won all the southern states lockstep. Okay, Indiana went for Hamlin by almost 20. That's good. Okay, West Virginia. Man, okay. Okay, we got some states coming in. We got the Northeast. We got the Midwest. Okay, it's looking really good. Let's go! We won! Woo! Alright, we won! Which I totally didn't see that coming. And we just embarrassed Seymour. Seymour didn't even have a chance. I mean, so let's see, after the results come in, we'll see how he did it. We'll compare it to how Ulysses S. Grant did historically. Wow, we just absolutely mowed the floor with Seymour. I mean, we even got 58% of the popular vote. I mean, that's crazy. Alright, so now let's see how they did historically. So Grant won with only 52% of the popular vote, and while Seymour got 80 votes. We absolutely did way better.
I kept Andrew Johnson and the Dixies out of the White House. This is the greatest day of my life.
Ocean Man.